Well, let's get on to our first sets of games to sort of talk about the Western versus the Eastern context. Are you interested in the Western context or the Eastern?
Both.
No, I'm saying which one first.
Oh, well, let's go East first.
Eastern then. Okay, you have rolled a Pokemon. So this is Arceus. It is the god, is the creator deity, and what makes it Buddhist is the Dharma chakra on its back. It, as well as saying that it has created the world, shaped the universe with 1,000 arms, which is Avalokiteshvara.
Yeah. So that's an interesting sort of amalgam of different things. I mean, there is this kind of bodhisattva, kind of Buddhist saint figure, a mythological being called, in Sanskrit, Avalokiteshvara. In Japan, it's called Kanon, sometimes depicted as a woman, sometimes a man. She is not considered a creator god, so that's another interesting thing about what little I've seen of these video games and anime series, is that they sort of take bits and pieces of these traditions and creatively bring them together in interesting amalgams.
All right, and then there's also, let me briefly put in Calyrex as well, which usually is not seen as Buddhist, but I believe some people have said that. Tell me if you think this looks as any aligned with the Buddha. Does this have any Buddhist thing going on with that?
Oh, wow, that's a strange looking being.
Yes, it is.
It looks like a 3-eared bunny with a big something on its head.
Prayer beads, though.
Prayer beads, yes.
Moon rabbit influence.
Okay, yeah, maybe a little bit of rabbit in the moon thing going on, yeah.
Anything? Does this look at all Buddhist or?
No, that's about as far as I would take it. I think just kind of vaguely Japanese.
The 3 little thing right there. Things on the little triangles.
I can't see it too clearly.
Let's see if we can zoom on these triangles.
Okay.
Isn't that a symbol of something?
So if you'd expand the points of the smaller triangle out a little bit, it looks a little bit like a yantra, which is a diagram that you find in Hindu traditions, actually. It's sort of a meditative focusing diagram, sort of like a mandala.
All right.
Don't know if that's where they got it from.
Yeah, Calyrex primarily, I think, has Western influence on it, but... All right, then. League of Legends onto the Western example of our 2 Western examples, and then we'll go into the meatiest topic, I think, is the Buddhism and technology, which I think you're pretty interested about. But I told you the story a little bit. It's just basically there's this peaceful island called Ionia, and they're ruled by this religion with karma, who is like a descent, this being that takes over the body, that is karma, that makes you sort of like a Dalai Lama figure. And they come in and they're divided on if they should fight this warring kingdom called Noxus, and that's when this division starts happening, and Karma at the end uses her power to destroy a bunch of ships, and I remember you referencing there's some sort of fetishism going on even within the Japanese world, sort of this sacred Buddhist landscape, but as well as the Western, and that's a very simplified thing, but we're going quickly.
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know if they're drawing from, I mean, obviously karma is a kind of Buddhist and Hindu term. I don't know if the destroying of the ships it might have to do with some, historical things in Japan that they're drawing from, alluding to, and the Japanese had a surprisingly successful war with Russia, and so it's always, there's been a kind of interesting and surprising intertwining of Buddhism and militarism in Japan, starting with the samurai and also with kind of Japanese nationalist fervor during the 20th century, early 20th century.
And this comes from, and this was actually made by a Western company. So what do you think? So it's, I think that with going on with just a little bit with what's going on with the League, I guess but the big focus is on they don't want to fight. Is that a big fetishization of Buddhism, that they don't like violence? Isn't there Buddhists that like violence?
There's a truth to that, and there's also a little bit something misleading about it. Buddhism has occurred in so many different cultures throughout the last many centuries, and different national cultures and so on, and so it has been sometimes a force for peace, and certainly in a lot of Buddhist literature, There's deep skepticism of violence and war. And yet, like any other religion, Buddhism has been sort of co-opted by militaristic forces in various places, including Japan, like I was just saying.
And I guess from the Western versus the Eastern, sort of, would you see any difference between? I mean, obviously there's many different ways the East is going to take it, especially even some anti-Buddhist stuff. But I guess between the two comparisons of just this being that is the creator, that's Avalokiteshvara, and then you have this thing about peace. I guess do you see compare and contrast between those two?
Yeah, I mean it is a little odd that the Avalokiteshvara figure is this kind of warrior figure, because that is really not how it's depicted in Buddhism.
What with Arceus, or that's not Avalokiteshvara, no.
Which
the one with the white horse.
The karma, yeah.
The white horse thing.
Yeah.
Well, you said as a creator.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, so Buddhism actually doesn't even have a creator god. So that's another issue.
Yeah, that's